Hello, fellow creatives. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to turn this into this. This is part 2 of my Wedding Island miniseries that I'm building here on Ragnarok. If you want to see the award-winning part 1, which is way over there, check it out. I have a video and the info icon on your screen. It just won this week's architect contest, which is really cool. I didn't even expect it because it was a landscape build and it's pretty simple, but it looks really cool. So they picked it as the runner-up, which I'm really kind of amazed at. So anyway, if you are already liking what you're seeing, maybe hit the subscribe button and let's get into it. So what we need to do to start this thing off is probably to destroy what I've built because, well, can't really build it on screen if we don't do that. So while I do that, we are going to go ahead and take care of a little bit of office related stuff. So if you are kind of, well, anyway, just make sure disable structure placement collision is on, and that's in your settings. If you don't, you won't be able to do some of this stuff. And of course, I'm using several mods this week. I'm using the castles, keeps, and forts architecture mod, along with Ecotrees, Eco's Garden Decor, and let's see, Eco's RP Decor and Structures Plus. Also, one of the people did not claim their copy of ARK Survival Evolved from the contest we held, so I'm drawing a new winner. That is Angie Wu. Congratulations, you have won a copy, a PC Steam copy of ARK Survival Evolved and the Scorched Earth DLC. Please message me on YouTube. I will also message you separately just to make sure you are able to get in contact with me. And yeah, we'll get right into it here. So this is what it looks like when you just first come onto it in vanilla mode. So we're going to walk here. And it doesn't look that amazing, right? So this is meant for the bride to get ready. So we need to actually build a shelter here. Oops, didn't get rid of that. I'm going to leave this stuff up because this all has to do with next week's thing. So we'll get to that soon. But here's a free preview. It's the reception area. It's kind of cool. But over here, we need to build up the rest area or the dressing room for the bride and her retinue. So how do you do this? Well, here's how I tend to do this. I'm going to fly up and do this because it's a little easier for me to see, but you want to align a foundation as squarely as possible right here in between the doorway. And let's see how that went. Sometimes it's a little finicky. Yeah, that wasn't quite there. It's a little crooked. So we're going to kind of make that a little further in. Let's say right about, let's do right there. And then we're going to extend it all the way down. And if you did it right, this grid line should be parallel with this one. I didn't do that right, so hang on just a minute. All right, there we go. You see how the grid on the objects are parallel with the ground wall here? That means you placed it correctly. So we can go ahead, we can fill this all in. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the front porch as well. So these are going to go out like this. And I already left one there. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Place that right there. Are we going to notice anything? No, we're not going to notice anything funky. All right, so we got a nice little floor here. We need to start building up the walls and stuff. First things first, though, do I have a staircase? Yes, I do. So the staircase is going to be important. This is one of those things you can't clip into the hillside without the this structure placement collision disabled in your settings. So if you put the staircase right there, you can just walk right up it, and we are all set to build our wall. So we've got plenty of walls right here. So I'm going to put a wall right there. I'm going to put a triple lancet wall right here and right here. I think that's okay. Yeah, it doesn't clip into the rock there on the other side. So that should be okay, even though it's a little tight. So, you know, do what you need to. And you'll be able to clip through this wall stuff, maybe without disable structures on. I just tested it. Okay, I screwed something up. Yeah, let's get rid of that. That's not supposed to be there. There we go. All right. So let's try that one again. There we go. I heard it correctly this time. Yeah, we want it like that, pretty much. I'm going to do a wall right there. And then here's where it gets a little tricky, is we're going to want the doorway here. And hopefully it lines up about right. Yeah, we got a doorway right there, which is pretty nice. And then we're going to need a single lancet window from the castle's keeps, forts, mod, whatever you call it. And then we'll do a couple solid ones across the top up here. And I think I need a solid one across the top up here as well. Yeah, that'll work great. Let's put a doorway in right there, because I'm going to put up a small balcony. And then in this area here, we're just going to go straight across. And you won't be able to see where you're placing these objects. So it's just kind of helpful to have your gun out to place these things. It makes it a little easier to know where you're pointing, because you have that cursor on your screen. It's pretty nice. Okay, so that looks a little plain. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of those. And we're going to put in these triple lancet walls here. Yeah, that should be okay. So one thing you may get varying mileage out of is you see the wall kind of goes through this rubble here. With the window, it looks a little funky. I'm going to leave it just because I think it will look good overall. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, it seems like this foundation placed a little lower than I did on my test build. But it should still be fine, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm not going to. All right, so now that we have kind of our walls up, I need some way to get out to the balcony, and then we'll put the roof on after that. So how about we go find some ceilings? I got some in here somewhere. Yeah, some keep ceilings. We're done with the foundations, so we'll get rid of those. I'm going to put a ceiling right there, and we're going to just bring ceilings right across to there. And then we have staircase right there. Perfect. Okay, very nice. And then I'm going to put a gable end right there just to kind of fill in the staircase. And then we're going to do walls. Do I have keep walls still? Yes. Okay, I underestimated how many I would need. So there we go. So this is going to be our way up. Looks pretty nice. Okay, so now that we have a way up, I'm going to go ahead and finish detailing this bit later. So we're going to come out here. And, oh no, hang on, I forgot a piece. All right, we need this piece here. So this is our keep ceiling rounded left, just to kind of make it a nice little round exit here. And then ceilings will go all the way out through this bit. Yes, it is just a little bit lower than what I anticipated, but it should be okay because you could just kind of walk up here and it'll be all right. All right, there we go. Let's get rid of that. Okay, very nice. So now we have this kind of bit here. We have this kind of bit here. We need probably some railings and stuff. So let's go ahead and add those in. So this little rounded railing is for this baby. The wood railing rounded, and then I'm just going to use this standard kind of keep railing for the rest of this to go in right about there. So we can, yeah, it's close enough. It's close enough. You're going to be a little kind of, if you're building along with me, you are going to be a little off in some respects, which is totally fine. Just use your own creativity to fix this up the best you can. For instance, we could put a pillar here if I wanted. I'm not going to because I don't think it's that big of a deal. But if it bugs you, go ahead, do something with it. I'm sure you can figure it out. In fact, that's kind of the whole point of these vids is if you can't figure out what the heck I'm doing, you just riff on it. Do your best. I don't build step-by-step tutorials on purpose. They kind of look like step-by-step tutorials, but they're really not. So it's just meant to kind of... Oh, what's that doing up there? Go away. It's just meant to inspire you to do things on your own and to experiment. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so I've put these gable ends on either side. If one is just lining up incorrectly, you just press your toggle button, which is on default PC, it's E, and you can switch directions. So that's how you get those to work. It's a little different from vanilla, so that's why I'm taking the time to point it out. So we're going to put solid right there. And then there's a gable roof topper right there and right there. And then I think I want the roof. And this lines up differently too. See how these don't really do anything when they don't line up quite the same. It's kind of funny. What you have to do is you have to bring your cursor down to here, and then they'll line up. So we just want a single row of these all the way across. And if they toggle the wrong way, just press your toggle key, and it will switch over like so. It's pretty straightforward once you kind of figure it out, you see. So we're going to do this. And now we're going to put our toppers on. So this is our roof topper. This is different because it kind of requires you to have a centerpiece, a center line all the way through your build. So it's kind of different from the regular vanilla pieces. Okay, so there we go. We have our building structure pretty much done. You'll notice that this kind of thing is a little funky. If this happens to you, I just noticed this. If this happens to you, go back and replace your foundations. So I guess I should say, yeah, check this first before you build everything. Always watch a video through because little surprises like this will crop up. I'm going to go back and fix this. I need to offset this foundation a little bit further into the ruin of the interior a bit because I want this exterior to show up correctly and all in one piece. And it's kind of fitting into the wall. It's really ugly. Ew, gross. This, I think, will be the correct foundation setting where there is, oh crap, I screwed it up. Where there is a bit of a gap here between the edge of this foundation and the edge of this one. You want that because it does come in a bit and then it goes up. Okay, that's much better. So now we have a significant archway in here. It's going to look a little funky. We have a little tiny window up there. That's okay because we're just kind of rebuilding through what amounts to a ground object. And we can kind of make this look like it's going to match, which we will do in just a second. One thing I noticed when I was doing this is that if you place it too far back, you will get this very nice flush back here, which is really nice because then you don't have the ruin poking out. So if you want that in front, you can actually adjust the foundation to like to stick out in front a bit instead of sticking into the back like I just showed you. So that's one thing you could do. I noticed when I was looking back here that this wall is looking rather plain. So let's go ahead and replace that with a triple lancet window. As you can see, I need to actually destroy that too. Okay, there we go. So that actually is going to anchor the back wall pretty nicely, it looks like. Yes, it is. But we do have to put that gable end topper back. So there we go. We got a gable end topper. We got everything here. And now we need to basically color match this, which the way you do it in the Castles Keeps mod is you get this little gun called a primitive material changer gun. I'm going to replace my little rifle with it. All right. And then what you do is you press your R key, and then you click like this on all the objects to change it to the color you want. Now, the sandstone here is a little overbearing, so for the stairways, or for this stairway at least, I'm going to leave it the regular old default color. But for everything else, we're going sandstone because it's kind of nice. So I'm going to do that really quick. Okay, there we go. We got the interior done. Also, be sure to do the exterior because some of the walls out here are not visible like this one. They're not visible inside. And of course, I'm going to change these handrails to this lighter wood. It looks nicer to me. So if we come out here and we take a look. Yeah, okay. So it matches the stone a little better. You're not going to find a perfect match because this stone is weathered and this stuff is constructed to look brand new. So, just, it's deal with it because that's what I do. So there's one more thing that is kind of bugging me here. The top here is looking a little flush, a little plain. So I think what I want to do is take these battlements, these keep battlement crenellations, and place them right here, except, hang on just a minute, I need my rifle back, and I'm going to put you in slot 9. There we go. All right, so I'm going to pull them down into the wall because I don't want them to stick up too high. They look a little funky if they stick up too high. You are going to get this little bit where it's going to overlap a bit into the windows. If that bugs you, well, don't know what to tell you. So it doesn't bug me. So I'm just gonna leave it. It's not really that noticeable a detail anyway. So there we go. So now we got these. This is looking a lot better. So let's see. What do we need to do next? I think what we need to do is start kind of detailing some of the outside here. And I'm going to change this back and, oh, come on, there we go. And as you go from here on out, you're going to want to paint as you go. I, of course, painted the roofs. They are kind of a scale gold. It's a little too scaly gold to me, so I think I'm going to change those back to the default as well. Is that default? I can't tell. Okay, so I got 4 colors here along with the default. And I like the green. I like the green the best. So this roof is turning green. So here we go. On both sides. Perfect. Very nice. So we got a nice little green color. And I think it looks good for the sandstone. It complements it very nicely, I think. Okay. So let's detail the outside of this. How are we going to do that? Well, I've got these wall lanterns. So I'm going to use those. I am going to use these large lanterns, which I apparently didn't put in my inventory, and these doors. Let me get the large lanterns. Okay, there we go. We got the large lanterns and the fancy wall lanterns. So these large lanterns, I'm just going to stick them, and let me get my gun up so I can actually place it. I'm going to put them right here in the center of these pylons that kind of stick outward here. So there we go. We got 2 of them. Looks very nice. I'm going to put a large lantern right here above the doorway, just to kind of decorate it a little bit. Let's stick a door in here as well. That's kind of the standard door color. I don't know if they change. Let me see if they change. No, the doors do not change color. Okay, that's fine. All right, so that looks okay, but this area up here is looking a little plain. There's a giant tree branch kind of poking through. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this large lantern. I'm going to place it up here. But I'm going to place it as far as I can into this wall right here in the center. And if we do it right, you're not really going to notice this thing kind of coming up. I mean, you will, but it looks like instead the lantern is stuck right here into the center. And it's just kind of a decorative light up there. So I need to edge this slightly to the right to get it perfect. Okay, there we go. Much better, much better. That looks good. That looks good to me. Okay. I am a fan, I have to say. So just need to go ahead and stick a door on the exterior here and a little lantern above it too. Let's see. Yeah, a little light. There we go. Okay, so we'll come back to the interior. We need to work on this exterior kind of viewing area here. So this is where we're going to start moving over into the Structures Plus stuff because the Castles Keeps and Forts architecture stuff acts a little funky here and doesn't like placing on regular ground or on other mods' fence foundations. So I'm going to take a fence foundation. I'm going to stick it I'm going to put myself right in between here. Then I'm going to rotate about 180 degrees. Yep, right in between. I'm going to stick a fence foundation right there. And a fence foundation. Come on, where is it? There it is. Right there. And it should connect. Yes, it does. Very nice. And then what we can do is we can do it all over again and stick a fence foundation right here and a fence foundation right there. And we can just kind of go all the way through. So this is going to take a little bit of practice for me, a little bit of trial and error. So I'll be right back with you. Okay, there we go. So we've got the fence foundations laid. You are definitely going to have trouble with this middle one. So what I ended up doing was I ended up manually placing one right here in between this gap and this gap. And this kind of broke through the middle here and it stopped like right about here. And then I had to manually place another one to kind of overlap these. So this is going to look a little funky and strange, but it will be fine. Oh, wait, well, maybe it won't be fine. Wonder what's going on. That did not have this trouble when I built it. So we will have to perhaps... There we go. We got those. Those look fine. We'll have to do a little bit of trial and error here to get this to work. Maybe I overlapped it a little too much. Okay, so maybe you want to make it look something like this, where the fence foundations are just overlapped only maybe halfway, and then it should work okay. Yeah, there we go. So it looks a little funky, but it looks better than if we had nothing at all. So I'm going to take that. We can, of course, kind of continue to refine it if you wish. But for now, I think that looks okay. So, yeah, we've got these things, and this is looking a little dry. So I think what we should do is get some party lamps and some lit cypress trees, and go ahead and string some lamps in between these fence structures here, like that. Yeah, that looks okay. And then we'll, of course, go through there. And then let's go ahead and put down some lit trees, so when it gets night outside, it'll look fine, and it won't look so, maybe, oh, I don't know, dark, I guess, is the word. I'm sorry, I've just been at this for a little bit. I don't like that placement, so I'm going to put it right there. There you go. Oh, yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and let's head on in here, and let's go ahead and get working on this thing. So what we need, I think, are some railings, and oh crap, I totally forgot about this. I need some handrail stairs as well. So let me grab those from ARK Commander, and we'll put those in there. So we need a railing right there, and a railing right there, and a railing right here. And then the handrail stairs are a little different. There they go. They attach to the top of this keep wall gable end. Okay, very nice. That looks good, I think. Let's go ahead and start decorating the interior a bit. So let me place that right here. I think I want it to be pretty close to like that. Yeah, that's going to look pretty good, I think. So we got this very nice rug here. Now we need tables. And this is where the bride and her bridesmaids are going to do makeup and hair and all that styling things. So we got tables for them. Let's give them some fancy chairs too to sit in, make them feel like royalty. So let's put one right there, and one right there. Okay, that lines up pretty well. This wall is looking a little empty, so let's put in a bit of a decoration. Let's put one right there, and let's put a fancy wall light on either side, shall we? Let's put one up there and one. Let's just put it right there. That should mirror it pretty well. Yeah, that's pretty good. Awesome. And then I think this area here needs a bit of decoration as well. So let's put a side table right in between these two triple lancet windows. And let's put a fancy chair on either side as well. And, you know, listen, the bride is probably going on a honeymoon, so the bride probably needs some suitcases. So let's put those in the corner right there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. But we need some light because, you know, it could be an evening wedding, or they could need to come in here well after the reception is done and get some things. So let's go ahead. Let's come over here. Let's put a light right there. Okay, very nice. And let's match it on either side. Let's put one right there. And then let's see if I can keep the width here. Okay, so I'm probably pretty close to it. I'm going to put a fancy wall lantern on top of each of these walls like that. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's looking fairly equal. I think I put it a little lower, so I might want to fix that later. Probably won't, though, because you know me. I'm happy with the way things are. This, however, this is the Mark of the Maker, and this is from the Castles and Keeps mod. I want it not green, but maybe, what's dark matter? Ah, yes, there we go. Dark matter is a very nice color because it has this kind of emerald kind of green surrounding it. And guess what? This is a nice green color, and it complements this kind of gray chair very nicely, too. So I think that is how we're going to do the interiors. There's only one more thing we need to change here, which is these handrail colors. So let's go ahead. Let's get my reticule back, and let's change these to the nice sandstone color, and then go ahead and take a look at the fun that we've had here. So let's see. Let's fly up, fly around, and take a look at what we have wrought. All right, very nice. Ah, yes, this is looking very, very much like an Old English manor, which is what I was going for. I like it a whole bunch. And if you enjoyed this vid, you're in luck because it's part of a whole channel full of ARK building videos. I didn't used to think I was very creative until I tried. So I'm making videos to help you to be creative too. So go ahead and subscribe and become a little more creative by clicking on one of the 2 videos on your screen. And I will see you next time to go ahead and build this stuff over here. And in the meantime, go make something awesome. Bye-bye.